The Manhattan federal courtroom was a pressure cooker of anticipation on a chilly morning in 2025. The air buzzed with whispers, cameras flashed, and all eyes were locked on a single figure stepping up to the witness stand. She was known only as Mia, a pseudonym cloaking her identity, but not her courage. This was no ordinary testimony. Mia, once a trusted insider in Sean Diddy Combs' glittering world, was about to detonate a bombshell that would shake Hollywood to its core. Her words implicated not just Diddy, but his mother, Janice Combs, as the mastermind behind a sprawling criminal empire built on exploitation, fear, and unimaginable cruelty. This wasn't just a trial, it was a reckoning. Mia's testimony, backed by a suitcase stuffed with documents, audio recordings, and chilling videos, exposed a dark underbelly of the entertainment industry that had been hidden for decades. As she spoke, the courtroom fell silent, the weight of her revelations hanging like a storm cloud. The name Janice Combs, once a footnote in Diddy's story, now loomed as the architect of a sinister network. This is the tale of betrayal, bravery, and a fight for justice that could redefine Hollywood's legacy. Buckle up, this is a story you won't forget. Shocked by this unfolding drama? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated on every twist in this explosive case. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you make of Mia's courage? In the early 2000s, Sean Diddy Combs was the epitome of success, a music mogul, fashion icon, and party king whose events were the stuff of legend. His white parties and exclusive freak-off gatherings were the golden tickets of Hollywood, attended by A-listers, politicians, and billionaires. For Mia, a young woman with dreams of breaking into the entertainment industry, being invited into Diddy's inner circle was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She started as an assistant, dazzled by the promise of glamour and connections. But what she found behind the velvet ropes was far from the dream she'd imagined. Mia's testimony painted a vivid picture of Diddy's world: opulent mansions, champagne-soaked nights, and a carefully curated image of power. But beneath the surface, a darker truth festered. Mia described how Diddy's parties weren't just celebrations, they were meticulously orchestrated arenas where influence was traded and loyalty was demanded. Young women, lured by promises of stardom, were the currency of this empire, and the one pulling the strings wasn't Diddy alone. Diddy's empire thrived on the illusion of opportunity. His parties were a microcosm of Hollywood's power dynamics, where ambition was exploited and silence was bought. Mia's entry into this world highlights a universal truth: the allure of fame can blind even the sharpest minds to the cost of entry. Her story is a cautionary tale about the price of chasing dreams in an industry that often preys on the vulnerable. The real shock of Mia's testimony wasn't Diddy's actions, it was the revelation that his mother, Janice Combs, was the true mastermind. Publicly, Janice was portrayed as a supportive, aging mother, a figure of warmth and innocence. But Mia's words tore through that facade like a blade. Janice wasn't just complicit. She was the architect of a criminal network that stretched across continents, exploiting young women for profit and power. Mia recounted how Janice ran a so-called modeling agency, promoted as a launchpad for aspiring talent. In reality, it was a front for a transnational operation that trafficked young women, handpicking the most vulnerable, orphans, runaways, and those with little education for their innocence and malleability. She dangled dreams of Hollywood stardom, Mia testified, her voice heavy with sorrow. But once they signed up, their lives were no longer their own. Janice's role as the alleged mastermind flips the narrative of Diddy's empire. It challenges our assumptions about power and complicity, forcing us to question how deeply corruption runs in families tied to fame. Mia's testimony suggests that Janice's influence shaped Diddy into the figure he became, raising unsettling questions about the origins of his behavior. Was Diddy a pawn in his mother's game or a willing partner in crime? Have you ever been drawn in by a promise that turned out to be a lie? Share your story in the comments, and let's discuss the dangers of unchecked ambition. Don't forget to like this video if you're gripped by this saga. Mia's testimony reached its chilling peak when she described the warehouse, a hidden basement beneath the Combs family mansion that served as an underground prison. This wasn't a metaphor. It was a literal dungeon where dozens of young women were held captive, stripped of their dignity and humanity. Mia's voice broke as she recounted the conditions: cramped, pitch-black rooms reeking of mildew, where girls were fed scraps of stale bread and watery soup to keep them perfect for clients. Janice said eating too much would make them fat, Mia testified, tears streaming down her face. To her, they weren't people. They were products. The basement was the heart of the Combs operation, a place where dreams went to die. Girls were coerced into serving at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, where they endured grueling ordeals lasting days or even weeks. Mia described one girl collapsing from exhaustion after 4 days without sleep, only for Janice to dismiss her as too weak and order stimulants to keep her compliant. "Their eyes haunted me," Mia said. "They looked at me like I was their last hope, but I was just as trapped as they were." The basement is a stark symbol of the Combs' moral decay. It represents the ultimate betrayal of the American dream, where ambition is weaponized to enslave rather than empower. Mia's role as an unwilling participant, sent to fetch girls from the basement, underscores the insidious nature of complicity. She was caught between survival and conscience, a dilemma that resonates with anyone who's faced a moral crossroads in a corrupt system. Mia didn't come to the stand empty-handed. She brought a trove of evidence that left the courtroom in stunned silence, a USB drive filled with audio recordings, videos, and documents that exposed the Combs' criminal empire. One audio clip captured Janice's chilling voice. "Don't let anyone know about the basement, Diddy. If there's a leak, you know how I'll handle it. No mercy." Another recording revealed her instructing Diddy to select a specific girl for a VIP client, promising a $50 million contract in return. The videos were even more damning. Spanning from 2018 to 2022, they showed shadowy deals between Diddy and high-profile figures, including one unnamed client negotiating for a gift in the form of a young woman. Security footage from the Combs mansion revealed a hidden tunnel leading to the basement, where a frail girl was led out, her eyes filled with terror. Bank records exposed a web of shell companies, disguised as fashion labels, music studios, and event firms, used to launder money and funnel commissions to influential figures. Mia's evidence is a masterclass in courage and strategy. Her decision to preserve recordings and documents over years, despite the risk, speaks to her determination to seek justice. The specificity of her evidence, down to the names, dates, and financial transactions, makes it nearly impossible to dismiss. This trove is not just a legal weapon, it's a testament to the power of truth in the face of overwhelming power. Can you imagine the bravery it took for Mia to collect this evidence? Share your thoughts on her resolve in the comments, and subscribe to stay updated on this historic trial. As Mia stepped down from the stand, the courtroom was a cauldron of emotion. Whispers rippled through the crowd, and even Judge Arun Subramanian seemed visibly shaken by the footage of Janice orchestrating a freak-off party with chilling precision. Diddy's legal team scrambled to discredit Mia, painting her as a disgruntled former employee seeking revenge. But the evidence was overwhelming, a razor-sharp blade cutting through their defenses. Outside the courtroom, the public reaction was seismic. Social media erupted with hashtags like #JusticeForVictims and #CombsExposed as millions rallied behind Mia and Cassie Ventura, whose own allegations against Diddy had sparked this trial. The revelation of Janice's role sent shockwaves through Hollywood, forcing the industry to confront its complicity in protecting powerful figures. Names of VIP clients, though withheld by Mia for her safety, hung like a dark cloud, hinting at a broader network of corruption. Mia's testimony is a turning point, not just for the trial, but for Hollywood itself. It exposes the industry's underbelly, where fame and wealth shield predators. The public's response reflects a growing demand for accountability, signaling a cultural shift toward transparency. But it also raises a sobering question: how many others are complicit in this system, And will they face justice? This case is more than a legal battle. It's a mirror held up to society. The Combs' alleged empire thrived because of silence. Silence from victims too afraid to speak, from insiders too complicit to act, and from an audience too dazzled by fame to question. Mia's stand challenges us to break that silence. It asks us to examine our role as consumers of celebrity culture, to question the systems that elevate predators, and to amplify the voices of the voiceless. Mia's story is a clarion call for systemic change. It reminds us that justice isn't just won in courtrooms, it's won in the collective refusal to look away. By shining a light on the Combs' alleged crimes, Mia has sparked a movement that could reshape Hollywood's future, demanding a cleaner, fairer industry where power is no longer a shield for abuse. What changes do you want to see in Hollywood? Join the conversation in the comments and share this video to spread awareness. Let's demand a better future together. As Mia left the witness stand, her hands still trembling, but her gaze unyielding, she carried the weight of countless victims. Her testimony wasn't just a legal maneuver, it was an act of defiance against a machine that thrives on fear and silence. The Combs empire, once untouchable, is now crumbling under the weight of truth. But the fight is far from over. The web of influence shielding Diddy and Janice still looms, and deeper secrets remain buried. Mia's courage is a beacon for us all, a reminder that one voice, armed with truth, can challenge even the mightiest empires. This trial is a chance for justice, not just for Mia and Cassie, but for every victim silenced by power. As the case unfolds, we stand at a crossroads. Will we let wealth and influence prevail, or will we rally behind the truth? Final call to action. Don't let this story end here. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join us as we uncover the next chapter in this saga. Who else do you think is tied to this network? Drop your predictions in the comments, and let's keep the pressure on for justice. Together, we can shine a light on the shadows and ensure the voiceless are heard.